Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Piofiore 1926. And Henry abandoned us at the end of the last part. I knew he was going to do it. I knew it. I knew he was going to leave us with the nuns, and he had Sister Sylvia drug us. Bastard. I don't know how we're going to romance the man when, he's never around in his own route. But whatever. We'll see what happens. So, now we're waking up. I woke to the sounds of birds chirping. I awake to the sounds of birds screaming. Huh? I was in a beautiful room I didn't recognize. Did she hand me over to Gil? What the hell? I mean, I'm okay with this. It's probably better, honestly. Hand me over to Gil, but I found myself lying in a soft, fluffy bed in the same clothes I was wearing last night. Good morning, Space. Oh my god. Julia? Why are you... Oh, wait a minute. Wait. No, you're right. This is the Falzone house. I was like, wait a minute. Julia's here. No, that's right. Okay, I remember. Now, I got my bedrooms mixed up for a hot second. Whoa, no. Oh my god. You left me. Oh, no, Henry, this is bad. There is nothing that's going to stop them from killing you now. Oh, no. No, Gil would have been a better option. He's my friend. He's nice. He thought you could get bent, but he would have been nice to me. I don't trust Dante. I love Dante. Don't get me wrong. I love him to death. But, in this case, right now, he's going to, he could seriously pull a Raoul on me. Listen, as much as while we play Dante's route, I'm like, look at him, he's like a little angry cupcake, I'm not intimidated. Now I am. Now I remember the things that he's done. All the other times, he might have been sad we chose someone else, but they were all kind of buddy-buddy, and it was like, whatever. In this case, it's like, I chose the one person he hates the most. This is not good. Not good at all. Anyway. Julia, why are you...
This is the Falzone Manor. I was asked to stay here with you until you woke up.
The Falzone? I was drinking tea with Sister Sophia and Henry last night. I couldn't recall anything after that. So, I wonder, then, if that letter was Henry... and was like, I'm gonna bring her back, but I need you to take care of her type of a thing. Did he write to them? Or did Sister Sophia pass it along? Curious. I couldn't recall anything after that. Where's Henry?
Henry?
Wasn't there a man with me? Where is he gone? Julia?
I apologize, but I haven't been told the details about the situation.
She seemed so sympathetic and bewildered. It didn't seem like she was lying.
The boys asked me to let them know as soon as you were awake. So I asked that you please ask young Dante and young Nicola for more information. If you don't mind, I'll prepare your breakfast.
How does that sound? Poor Julia's like, I was just asked to sit here so there wasn't a man in your room. And I don't know shit, girl. Thank you, but if it's possible, I'd like to speak with Dante first.
Yes, as you wish, dear. I'll come by and let you know once he's ready. Until then, please wait here in the room.
As soon as Julia finished explaining, she stood and left the room. My heart was pounding with dread. Yeah, I don't trust that I would be too. If you were with Gil, you would have been like, Gil, what the fuck? And he would have been like, okay, so. But you're with Dante, and I don't think we trusted Dante very much. I mean, okay. To be fair, I don't quite remember Henry's route, but I do remember, okay, Gil was always, nice and warm, and Dante was always a little intimidating. Right? So I feel like going down Henry's route, we probably still would have been the Nicholas kind of scary, even though he's sweet and flirty. But he's definitely stabby, so watch out. Gil is nice and sweet and just kind, and Orlok is adorable, and Dante is scary. Yang is scarier, but Dante is very intimidating and I don't think we ever got past, like, Dante is a little intimidating, and I don't, you know what I mean? Because he was always like that even in his rounds. Like, once you get past that angry face, and then you're like, you're just all growl and no bite. And then actually he really is bite. That's the sad part. But you know what I mean? I think we never got to the point where we're like, I'm not intimidated by you, even though I should be. We have not lost our sense of danger. He's still a danger noodle, okay? A few moments later, Julia came back and escorted me to them. We soon arrived at an office, one that I recognized from before. My expression must have been severe because Nicola looked at me with a troubled smile. There's no need to be so cautious, Signorina. We mean you no harm. Yeah, I don't know about that. Where's Henry? He can't have... Dante gave a weary sigh and spoke with a hint of bemusement. The first person you worry about is him, is it? Don't look at me like that. This was his idea. Dante's just all offended. He's like, oh, that's the first person you worry about? And then we're like, how dare you? He's like, what? It's his idea. Stop. Dante's so jealous. That's so cute. I don't think he's going to stab us anymore. I mean, legitimately, I should be afraid of Dante, and then I have those moments where, like, no, he's probably gonna... Look at him, he's adorable. Stop it, he's never gonna... Logically, I know that Dante is intimidating and can slice us up. And there are times where you're like, no, see, now, in Henry's route, I'm a little worried about it. Every other one I would... And then, this moment now, you're like, no, I still love him. This is how I die. Like, this is why I wouldn't last like 5 minutes in a frickin' Otome game. I'd be like, nah, he's trustworthy and he'd stab me. No caution. His idea? Allow me to clarify for everyone's sake. We didn't kidnap you, nor did we resort to force of any kind. He was the one who made the offer. Until the issue involving Sebastiano Gallier has been resolved, you will be in the Falzone's custody. And I have a feeling that once that's wrapped up, there's gonna be, like, I'm in your custody until then, and then what? Then you're gonna find a reason to kill Henry so I can't be with him. See, that's where I don't trust you. Nicola answered in a calm manner, as if to show that they had nothing to hide. I can't wait. I kind of hope the bad endings are, like, truly fucked up. I mean, it's weird, but I mean, like, in Henry's route, one bad ending should absolutely be like, well, Dante just decided to stake his claim and, like, kill Henry and, like, not give any fucks what we want. Kind of like he did in Orlok's route. I think that might have been because Nicola was dead. The two of them have a weird bond. It's not normal cousin bonds. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I love my family, and, like, I don't think I'm close to any of my cousins like Dante and Nicola are. And I love my sisters, but I'm just saying, if someone killed them, I don't think I'd go that route. I don't think I'd literally lose my mind and slice someone's tendons and then assault somebody. Yeah, I'm just saying. I can't see me doing any of these things. Nicola lost his... I'm just... Like, their bond is a little... It's a little incesty, okay? I mean, you should love your family that much, but maybe not that much. Not so much that you, like, get stabby and slicey and, like, lose your goddamn marbles. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, okay? Like, but I just feel like this would be the perfect opportunity to just have one of those, like, seriously dark, disturbing, like, no, stop, I don't want to think of you that way endings. You know what I mean? It would fit perfectly in this. And if they don't, it's kind of a cop-out, because they're all, like, kind of bastards, if you think about it. Every single love interest in here is a horrible person. It's kind of weird that you play this game. You're like, I love this game, it's so good. And you're like, it's really dark, obviously. And, like, the love interests are not fluffy, and yet why do you get a fluffy feeling when you play it? What is wrong with me? Am I the only one who, when I'm playing this game, is like, yeah, it's dark and disturbing, but they're just, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You're like, I don't get, like, a depressed, angsty, like, my God, they're so, I mean, Our orphans got sliced up, and I'm like, look at Dante, he's like, kill a fluffy kid. What is wrong with me? Seriously? There's something with this game. There is something in the water. I don't know. But, I mean, I guess it's kind of like any game. There's other games you're like, yeah, I was just kind of like, about this one. And people are like, no, it's like the best game ever! And I'm over here like, no, Piofiore is like a great fun time! There's a lot of murder and stabbing and orphans dying and shit, and it's traumatic if you think about it. But, like, it was a good time. Good times were happening. Even in those really disturbing bad endings, you were like, no, we had a great time slicing up Raoul. That was in the normal path. But, you know, I'm just like, what the hell? What the hell? I might need therapy. But anyway. Oh, good God. But I kind of just feel like this is one where, like, a really disturbing bad ending. You know what I'm just saying? Like, I kind of feel that. Like, we know that Dante is actually kind of like soft and squishy, like a little marshmallow. But he's also very slicey-uppy. So, like, I'm just saying, he's a dangerous marshmallow. Oh, Bird. Nicola answered in a calm manner, as if to show that they had nothing to hide. A possibility crossed my mind. Did he... Henry Lambert requested that we allow him to move freely around town in exchange for the Key Maiden's safe return. I was at a loss for words. He used me as a bargaining chip! That sounds legit. They accepted last night's proposal so easily. Because Henry had planned this all from the start. And yet we still loved the devious bastard. He traded us. As you know, the Key Maiden's very important to us, and we can't allow you to remain in a dangerous situation. I feel like being with you is a dangerous situation, but sure. Henry's request was beneficial to the Fell Zone. Is that it? I think they're both like, yeah, trying to charm us, and you're like, I am gonna slap both of you. You know what? You're both getting nut punched. Instead of affirming it outright, Nicola only smiled, that shady little smile of his. Where is he now? And that's something we're still looking into. And we cannot allow him to move unsupervised, so we've sent out our men to search for him. It seemed believable enough to be the truth. I'm just saying, if we could learn to get along, this could be a great man-harem romp. Nicola, please escort her back to her room. Will do, Dante. And now then, shall we? Am I done talking here, sir? I guess I am. I exited the office, escorted by Nicola. I feel like this is also why I would get shot in this game. I'd be like, am I done talking? Nicola would point his gun at me. I think you are. All right, you know what? You're right, I am. I don't think so. Go ahead. Pull the trigger, bitch. And then I'd be dead. Like, please don't ever isekai me into this game, Jesus. As hot as these men are, I would not last like 2 minutes. As we walked down the corridor, he spoke with an air of making small talk. I would go find frickin' Oliver. Don't get me wrong, come on. I'm certain you're already aware, but Henry has a talent for hiding himself so they can't be found. A young woman on her own wouldn't be able to find him, so I hope you're not entertaining the idea of escaping from here to do so. I absolutely was, because I know I've tried to climb out the window once before. We're like, dun, 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 looks around shiftily. We stopped in front of the room where I woke up, and Nicholas smiled, pointing at the door. This is your room. You're also free to walk about the manor at your leisure. Thank you. Everything in your room's for your personal use. If you need anything else, we will get it for you, and no, it's nothing. Nicholas smiled vaguely and let himself trail off as he opened the door to my new room. I walked inside and sat down on the bed. Henry must have decided this. The moment he made up his mind to come back to Berlone. I thought back to what Henry said that night. Doesn't this make you want to cry? Like, I just want to feel sorry for myself. I just want to sit over here and be like, and I want to cry about it.
And that's not the case. We're going there for your protection. I want to ensure your safety first.
that safety was about staying with the Falzone, then he really was only thinking of me. Still want to cry and be sorry for myself. He may have never intended to ensure his own safety. Is he going to fight against the person who murdered the children? All by himself? I saw how upset Henry was after the children were killed. He would certainly put himself in danger in order to kill Sebastiano. Well, story justified. Oh, Dante. How was she? Just as you saw her. Even after she left the office, she didn't panic. I did warn her not to leave the manor. She seems to understand well enough, so I don't think we'll need to worry. I see. It might be a good idea to invite Sister Sophia over after she's had time to settle in. I agree. I'm sure she'll want to talk to someone she knows. She really didn't know anything, it seems. She may be thinking that Henry betrayed her. I feel that way. I know that he was trying to protect us, but I feel that he also betrayed me. I can't help my feelings, okay? I know logically what he was doing, but it doesn't stop the hurt, okay? Last night, Henry Lambert appeared outside the church refectory earlier than expected, carrying Spacey in his arms. Please take care of her. Nicholas stepped forward and carefully took her from Henry. Sure about this? I scrutinized his face for any sign of deceit. A pair of quiet, calm eyes looked back at me without any hint of fear. I will keep my promise. Nicola... What is it? Last night you asked me if I understood what it meant to adopt a child into this family. Yeah, I did. After Henry's sister died, Uncle Silvio sent him to live with our distant relatives, although the story was that it was a servant's family. Despite living among us in a sense, Henry only grew more resentful toward the Falzone. He began his plans to avenge his sister's death. That's news to me. They talked about this earlier in one of the earlier parts, and I was like, are they talking about Henry? I don't remember that from the first game, or even, well, the Alternativa route or anything, that, like, basically, they were like, oh, his sister died, so we tried to take care of him. I mean, that kind of makes Henry's, like, huge rage against them a little less justified. I mean, I don't think it was justified fully to begin with. I mean, I understand being mad and kind of blaming them because they were Silvio was sort of responsible by, like, fooling around with her and, like, whatever, and then marrying someone else. But his sister did push Mama Falzone and Dante down the stairs trying to kill him, so... Did they actually kill her? I don't remember if they actually killed her or drove her to kill herself. So, I mean, either way, they're responsible for her death, but she tried to... I forgot about that until just now. I'm like, she tried to kill Dante in the womb, for God's sake. So, like, I mean, I get Henry being pissed, but, like, everybody is kind of at fault here in some way or another. Like, Silvio shouldn't have led her on, but that doesn't really give her the right to shove a woman and a baby down the stairs. And that doesn't really justify killing her. Or if that's what happened, or, you know. I'm assuming that's probably what happened, because it was probably like, you tried to kill my wife and child, bullet through the skull type of a thing. And that doesn't really justify Henry being... Like, I mean, again, I get Henry being pissed, but your sister also attempted murder. So, like, I mean, there's just... It's a whole big bag of problems here, but anyway. So, like, I kind of understand Silvio being like, well, it's our fault she's dead, kinda. Well, definitely. So let's take care of Henry, and Henry being pissed. But, like, again, your sister was a crazy bitch, so... If you ask me, I don't think the family that Uncle Silvio chose raised him with love. That could be it too. Oh my god, I wonder if that's where he gets this mentality that he's dirty and he's not supposed to touch us because they were, like, horribly abusive and cruel to him. Oh no. After all, Henry's sister tried to kill the wife of their boss and the next Falzone heir. Meaning you. Are you trying to say Father planned all of this knowingly? And the former key maiden, Chloe Lambert, attacked our family. And you think he punished her brother as an act of revenge? Oh, that's even more messed up. Listen. I was kind of on your side, I think Silvio had an absolute right to kill Chloe after what she tried to do. And he was a bastard, leading her on, but, punishing Henry for that? Whoa, dude, that's cold. And neither kill nor let free. It's easier to keep an eye on him if he stays in the family. However, this is all just guesswork on my part, and the truth of the past was buried with Uncle Silvio after he died. Are you implying that the brother's revenge is justified? I mean... Let's think about this logically. What did your father do to Chloe after she attempted murdered you and your mother? He killed her. So you don't... That was justified? But Silvio killing Henry's sister and then Henry wanting revenge isn't justified? I mean, it's your circle logic here, Dante. Chloe started it, but still. The cycle of vengeance doesn't stop because Chloe tried to murder you, so your father killed her, and then her family has the right to try to come after him, and then your family would go after him. It's like a circle that keeps going. It's just a chain. It just keeps going. And so, if you don't think Henry is justified in vengeance for killing his sister, then your father wasn't justified in killing her for trying to kill you or your mother. It's the logic here is lacking. Also, did we pee in that tunnel when we walked for a day? That's all I can think of when the logic comes. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Anyway. Who can say whether revenge is ever truly justifiable? That being said, if I were in his position, I can't say I wouldn't seek revenge myself. Especially if everyone in my family died and I was thrown to the wolves like Henry was. Like Nicola coming here with the Henry backing. Damn. Didn't expect that. I would certainly consider exacting vengeance, even if I knew my family wouldn't have approved. Interesting. Is this Nicola talking sense into Dante so that they don't kill Henry and I can have a happy ending? Because I'm okay with that. But beyond that, I didn't know what Henry was thinking. That was why I was so worried. I heard a sudden knock on the door. It's me, Leo. Can I come in? Yay, Leo! Do we get to see Oliver too? Because if we don't get to see Oliver, I'm going to be pissed. I was relieved to hear his familiar voice and stood up to open the door. Buongiorno. It's been a while. I'm glad to see you again. Glad to see you too. Yeah, I'm glad to see you too, Leo. It's literally what she said. I was just saying it for myself. Leo continued with an innocent smile. I love him so much. I just want to pet him on the head. We're going to be taking care of you for a while. Oh, but don't you worry. As long as you're here, you'll be safe. I trust you, Leo. Yes. You haven't had anything to eat yet, have you? Julia has breakfast ready if you'd like to come with me. Thank you. I think I will. I nodded with a smile and followed Leo out into the corridor. I love Leo so much. For breakfast, we were served a hearty minestra maritata? With plenty of vegetables. I have no idea. Minestra maritata? On the side, the freshly baked potato focaccia was golden brown and sprinkled with herbs. This looks delicious. If you don't mind... I didn't have much of an appetite, but the warm, comforting flavors gradually filled my stomach. When I finished my soup and half of the focaccia... Hey, Signorina. Gil, take me with you! I need to see Oliver! Come on, let's go! Gil! His bright voice came as a surprise. I love how we're here and we see Nicola and Dante and we're like, angry face. How dare he? And now we're sitting in the lounge. We're like, oh, okay, Leo. And then Gil, hey, Gil! We're always so happy to see him. he really does come out of nowhere and charms you because, like, he's gotten up there with you're like, I love you so much. And, like, I don't even know when that, because I mean, like, I'm sure I enjoyed his route in the first game. But, like, when I look at, like, my Piofiore merch, I have no Gil stuff. Like, I never got any Gil stuff. Like, the little plushies that they sold, I literally only have Dante, Nicola, Yang, and Henry. Like, I couldn't buy them all, and I was never going to buy the MC. Like, I don't buy any, like, the heroine merch. I just want the boys in my man harem, okay? But, like, even my acrylic stands, I have Leo, and I have Oliver, but I didn't get Gil. I walked around my house, like a month ago, weeks ago, I don't even know. When we were playing this, thinking about it, I'm like, I don't have any, no, I didn't buy any Gil stuff. Poor Gil. And I think about that now, like, I kind of feel a little bit guilty about that, because, like, you were so amazing. So it's really funny that, like, I guess I just went and, like, these are my favorites. Just bought that, and then, like, now as playing this one, like, nah, Gil really does charm you, and now I feel really guilty that I didn't have any Gil stuff, aside from the cards that came with the game. Like, that's just really sad. That's so not fair. He's such a charming bastard. He really is. Shit just comes out of nowhere right now. I swear to God. What is happening lately? Something is seriously wrong with me lately that, like, all these other love interests are coming out of nowhere, and you're like, I like, the himbo? I like the childhood friend? What is happening with me? I mean, Gil's just charming. You can't not like him. Even if you're like, not my type, he's so fucking charming. You're like, you are not my type, and yet I love you. Anyway. His bright voice came as a surprise. Senior Redford, why are you here? I got word from Dante this morning that there was a special guest here. Oh, and then the boss knows you've come to visit. Leo patted his chest with relief while Gil made himself right at home. Nah, I don't think so. I didn't tell him. What? I'll go tell him now. Please wait a moment. Gil's like, nah, I just fucking let myself in. Nobody stopped him. Leo nearly knocked his seat over as he leapt to his feet and bolted out of the room. I'm sorry about yesterday. I wasn't too happy to see your partner. No, I think it's only natural that you'd feel that way, considering what he did. But I'm the one who forced him to live, so I'm just as much to blame. You should be angry with me, not only Henry. I owe you an apology. I'm very sorry, Gil. How could I ever be mad at that sad face of yours? You don't mind, though. Could you tell me what happened? See, this is why Gil would be like, Gil, could you please just not fight with Henry in the man harem? And he'd be like, alright, 'cause you asked. I'm just saying. Where you went after you left, what you been doing. Of course, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. What have I been doing? Oh my god. Okay, so Gil, so there's this thing Henry... No, I'm just kidding. Gil, what are you expecting here? Of course. Mind if we join you? I do, actually! Rude! I just think it'd be so funny if we were, like, snippy and mean to Dante and Nicola, but, like, really nice to Gil. I'm a little mad at you for kidnapping me behind my back. You and Henry conspiring. Gil had nothing to do with it. Leo's over there like, please don't be mad at me. I'm not mad at you, Leo. You only work for these fools. I looked over and saw Nicola, Dante, and Leo stepping into the room. Both the boss and the underboss here at home? Well, don't you have a lot of free time today? Look who's talking. If you're concerned about our operations, you can rest easy. Our people are very good at what they do. We can afford to have a little chat. I think you may be the one skipping out on work today. If Oliver finds out, he won't be pleased. Yeah, actually, where is Oliver? Could you invite him? Yeah, I thought about that too. I have someone covering my tracks as we speak. He's got it all taken care of. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Frickin' Nicola over there like, Oliver might be mad at you. Yeah, don't worry. I got someone covering my tracks so the wife doesn't find out I'm here. It's like you're hiding from your wife. Oliver is like everybody's mom / dad / grandpa over there feeding all the children that show up in the house. So, like, this is not that far-fetched either that he'd be... I mean, we already know he'd be pissed at freaking Gil. Like, aren't you supposed to be doing work? What the hell? But the fact that Gil is like, I have to hide it from my wife. I don't want her to know I was smoking with the boys. Like, oh, poor Oliver. This is why the man has ulcers. Good lord. I love it so much. Whenever I talk to you, it makes me grateful to have such a diligent boss. Leo, ask Julia to bring some drinks, and keep the others out of here for now.
Understood.
Leo promptly left, so I waited for Nicola and Dante to take a seat before beginning my story. I took a deep breath and collected my thoughts. Are we going to actually get, like, some backstory over the last year? Because, cool. First off, I don't think I should say too much about Henry. There may be things he wouldn't want others to know. Is that all right? Yes. It would be enough for us to hear about how you were living, and that should suffice for now. Thank you. Well, story. Nest. The Lao Shu. I mean, yeah. I like Yang. I mean, it's a rat's nest. Henry!
Your first visit to the rat's nest, is it? You're just as mad as ever, I see. Unfortunately, that's not exactly high praise coming from you. As on any attitude to have toward a potential supporter. I smiled as I looked over at my new gift. Aged...
Maotai liquor? Anyway.
From China. A rare vintage difficult to procure, even among locals. I'll accept this drink with pleasure, although I cannot say the same about your offer. The man didn't seem to be fazed. Senor, you're one of the most righteous men I've ever met.
Lee's over there like, eh?
His words startled my second-in-command next to me. Even without my request, I know you'll work with the interest of peace.
No, you will work in the interest of peace.
And the thought of the brutal murders in this town is certainly one you couldn't stand for. Huh. What a terrible, lazy lie. Or could this perhaps be part of his strategy to manipulate my actions? He's not to be taken lightly. Interesting for him to begin his game in a setting where he's at the mercy of my moods. Surely he knows the fine line between life and death he treads while in my presence. My lips curved into a smile. Yes, it is indeed as you said. I cannot bear to let the innocent be slain any longer.
It does seem very not Yang. Lee's over there like, eh? Lee is so confused. He's like, what is happening? Henry, you're a righteous man. Lee, eh? Yeah, you're right. I don't want innocent people to die. Lee, eh? Lee's neck is gonna snap from this back and forth.
I must eliminate all threats to this town at once, lest others fall to the same wretched fate. I truly admire your dedication, but please do not push yourself too hard in your efforts. Very well, I will take that to heart. Grazie, signor. The man smiled, standing from his seat, and left the room.
Yang?
What is it?
Is something wrong? Have you injured your head? Are you brain damaged?
Lee, I'd hoped you'd have grown into your position by now, but I see you're still naive.
No, I'm also confused. What? There was obviously some kind of weird secret code going on, but... Thank you. I nodded, relieved to hear that from Dante. In the same way that I explained it to Sister Sophia, I shared with them a summary of what happened after we left town. You're like, I don't feel like I should drink tea while I tell this story because it's going to knock me out. As we sipped the coffee Leo brought to us, we spoke on a number of different topics. Really? You learned some French, huh? Hey, how much sharing a little with us? Oh, please don't make me say French words. Preferably something romantic and captivating. See, French is the language of love after all. Yeah, see, and that's what I find funny, because, like, it's definitely one of the romance languages, like Italian and other ones. I don't know what they are, but you know what I mean. There's a lot. Is English technically considered one? Because, like, this is not a very romantic language. It's a stupid language. Let's be real. But, like, it's funny because to me, I don't find anything romantic about French or Italian. It's funny because, like, people, oh, listen to French. Oh, French sounds so beautiful. I do not like the sound of French. I'm not it's not like, oh God, I hate them. It's just like, that's the fun about languages. There's different languages that you can be like, nah, I'm not into French, or like, oh, I love the sound of German, or you like Russian or Italian or Spanish or something. I'm not into any of those. That's why learning Japanese was fun for me, because I love the sound of Japanese. And it could just be the anime or playing Otome games. Otome games definitely help, I'm not going to lie. But it's funny because, like, you took Spanish or French in high school. Middle school or high school. Middle school into high school? I don't really remember when I started it. But I hated it because I'm like, I'm just not interested in learning Spanish or French. But that's the only options we had. And I was like, this sucks. I hate both of them. Like, I just don't, like, it's like you hear someone, it's not, okay. You're listening to someone speak English. You're like, yeah, okay. You're not like, oh, it just sounds so romantic. A British accent, that's different. Okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, accents are different. But, like, hearing someone speak French or Italian or, like, anything, I'm not like, oh, I just love the sound of it. I'm like, yeah, I don't get it. When people say, oh, French is so romantic, I don't get it. But, like, when I hear people, like, and you could have someone have a sexy voice in French, it's not going to do the same thing to me as our sexy Japanese VA speaking. And it's like, I don't even care if you're reading the dictionary to me. You could be reading the tax form. You could, like, tax laws. I don't care. It's hot. Like, I mean, the voices definitely help, but even just learning it, and that's, again, that's the fun part about language, is the fact that different languages appeal to different people. Because there are some people that are going to be like, oh God, no, I don't like the sound of Japanese, but you love French, or, you know, you love Russian or something. And I'm like, that's what's fun, because languages have to sound different to different people. Otherwise, nobody would ever want to learn a different language. You know what I mean? That's the part of fun about learning a different language, is like, ooh, you love the way it sounds, you know? So if you, like, love the way French sounds, fucking go learn French. You know what I mean? Like, you'll have more fun learning it than if you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to learn Spanish because whatever. Like, learn the language that when you hear it, it really resonates with you and you really love it, because then you'll have more fun learning it. Like, Japanese is fucking impossible. But, like, I had so much fun. I could actually be fairly fluent at this point if I had, like, kept into my routine. I had a routine down, and then COVID happened, and, like, all my routines went out the window, and my new routine was doing nothing. And now it's so physically hard to be like, I need to get back to doing all these things, and just being, I need to do it! And I can't motivate myself to do it. I swear to God, there's something seriously wrong with me. Like, I know I need to do it, and I'll be like, oh, tomorrow. And then, like, but then I don't, you know what I mean? It's hard getting that routine back. 3 years later, I'm like, see where I could have been 3 years if I had kept my routine going? You like, start over, and then you're like, oh, but, like, I really enjoyed it. And, like, every time, like, I pick up a book or something, or I go through or listen to song lyrics or whatever, it's like, I really do like it, so I don't know why I can't hike up my tits and just get back to learning, because I have fun doing it, but I don't know. Like, is that, like, ADHD or some shit? Like, seriously, the more I hear about this, I'm like, I don't know, I definitely do that, or I just get, like, obsessed with certain things, like, I have to play this game, I have to do this now, like, I don't know. Like, hyper obsessed with, like, certain activities or hobbies, and then all of a sudden you're like, and I never look at that again. Now I'm obsessed with this thing. I should really get myself checked. Lord, I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, I don't think, that was just my, like, I don't find French that romantic. I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't get it. Anyway. French is the language of love. No, please don't speak French to me. Speak Japanese and I'm into it. I can't do that, Gil. It would be too embarrassing. Plus, I saved my romantic fucking talk for Henry, Gil. Jesus. Besides, I'm still learning from Henry. He says everything so beautifully. That I would believe. Dante and Nicola are like, oh. What is it? Nothing. I just didn't know you guys were in love. And does Henry whisper sweet nothings to you in French? I have no idea what he whispers to me in French. Again, he probably reads the grocery list. No, I didn't mean it like that. I was just talking about normal, everyday conversation. I like the fact that we're like, no, but Henry says it's so beautiful. And they're like, I didn't know you were into him. What? No, we're not. I mean, when he looks at me with his beautiful eyes and I just stare off. What? I'm not in love with him. Look at the way Dante's looking at us all sweet and nice. He is so not going to stab my boyfriend later. All right, well. Well, in any case, I'm glad you're feeling less tense now. It was then that I realized it. I looked again at Dante and Nicola. Sorry about before. I think when I woke up here, I was imagining the worst. It's no wonder that you would. Anyone might have assumed that we somehow forced his hand and kidnapped you against his wishes. What's more, it seems he didn't inform you of his plans. Right. I mean, he wouldn't have had to knock me out if he had, Nicola. I feel like this is the stupidest thing you've ever said. Like, I guess he didn't tell you. You couldn't have figured that out when he brought me conked out. Unless he was like, oh, she fell asleep. Don't worry about it. I feel like that's important information to have left out. For Henry to have left out of telling Dante and Nicola. He knew you'd be against it if he told you, but he still had to get you to safety somehow. I understand the feelings on both ends. Grateful to him for thinking about me, but at the same time, seeing that I had fallen silent, Nicholas spoke up about the past. I was really surprised when you ran into the burning casino like that. I wondered why. What could have made you do it? But after piecing together everyone's stories, it's become clearer. He'd been in contact with you for quite some time. Yes, the first time I met Henry was the day before Gil rescued me. It took me a while to realize that he was the... from the stories. Written? Anyway. And I only learned that he was the direttore after Nicola and I were abducted. The day the casino burned down... Oh, I'm still trying to figure that one out. We spoke with your friend from the church, Elena, as well as Orlok and Leo, and discovered your connection with him. Putting aside the past, what's your relationship with him now? That is none of your business. Well, I thought about it before answering. Do we get a choice? He's like family. I can't seem to leave him. I feel like I can't seem to leave him is right, because family is like, he's like family. It's like he's like my brother, or, whatever. Yes, your spouse, the person you love, ends up becoming your family, but I feel like in this context, he's like family is different. It could be like this. We're a big family here. I'm not like Dante. It's like you and Nicola are family, legit family, but also family. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like saying that kind of makes it non-romantic in this sense. So I can't seem to leave him is a little more like, I don't understand why, but there's more like that underlying love But then again, I could also see I can't seem to leave him being like, I can't seem to leave him. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. Somebody help me. Could also have bad connotations, but I feel like I can't seem to leave him is more, in my mind, the first thing I think of is like I can't seem to leave him. It's romantic. Oh, create a save file too here. Go down where all my saves were. Whoop. Okay. Alright. I can't seem to leave him. I just can't seem to leave him alone. Those were my honest feelings. I'm sure I'm just a nuisance to him. Because I forced him to keep living. He had no choice but to put up with me. What up with you? Signorina, if you really believe that, he's failed you as a gentleman. Indeed. Thank you for saying so. I smiled, grateful for their concern. I think that that's actually cute. We're like, he's gonna put up with me, and they're like, that's insane! All of us would love to have to, quote-unquote, put up with you. Nicola's over there like, I don't know, maybe. Dante and Gil are like, I will battle it out with him. Even so, I was fully aware that I was being driven by selfish feelings. But they're not entirely selfish, because he's absolutely into us. He's just hiding his feelings from us. My god, my pillow just flew off my couch. Flew off my chair. Oh, Bird. Shut your face. It's starting to piss me off, Bird. And even though Henry left me, I still wanted to find my way back to him again. After the children passed, Henry was even kinder to me than usual. He must have been that way because he knew we'd be separating soon. When I first met him, he always looked so sad. It was only recently that I finally started seeing him smile more often. Once again, he suffered the loss of having those he cared about taken away from him. It bears repeating that the Falzone will protect you. Not just because you are the Key Maiden, but because you were an important contributor in helping us with last year's investigation. Oh, we wouldn't have been able to solve the case of the counterfeit bills without your help. But that doesn't mean we'll be protecting Henry. Understand. Even allowing us to stay alive was already more than we could have asked for. Dante was silent, then glanced at the clock as if remembering something. Nicola, it's time. Right, of course. We have an appointment. You should get back too, Gilbert. Yeah, I better go before I'm found out. Fucking Oliver storms in. How dare you! Love Oliver. Gil, if you don't mind, can you tell Oliver that I'm very sorry if I worried him in any way? Tell Oliver I'm sorry if he worried. I mean, the poor man has enough problems dealing with you. I love the fact that we were apologizing and hoping we didn't worry him. Because Oliver is just the MVP, okay? Oliver is the best. Stop it. Fight me. Got it. I'll do that. But I'm sure he'd rather hear it from you in person one of these days. I would rather tell him in person one of these days because I want to see him again. Yes, one of these days. If I don't get to see Oliver, I'm going to be so mad. I was really glad to have talked to all of them today. None of them had changed. They still treated me with the same kindness as before. Alright, so we weren't intimidated by Dante before. I mean, maybe, but we were like, nah, he's soft. See, okay. Slowly woke up. How long has it been? After talking to the others, I went back to my room and fell asleep. It was already dark outside. I must have really been exhausted, both physically and mentally. I suddenly thought of the children. When I was with everyone else, I was able to keep my mind off of what happened. When I was alone, I couldn't help but remember. Kinda glad the children didn't have sprites. Because I'm just saying that would have been traumatic. I want to see Henry. Same familiar fears returned with my grief, but just thinking about Henry made me feel a little calmer. Hope he's alright. He wouldn't be killed so easily. He hid in plain sight of the Burlone Mafia, then escaped them all in the end. I'm still worried. I sat up as an idea struck me. I can write a letter to Henry. Dante and the others didn't know where he was, and neither did I, but I went to sit down at the desk regardless. Nicholas said I could use whatever was in the room. Dream! Ooh! It's the Phantom! Okay, so here's the problem. We're gonna have to do some other kind of voice for the Phantom because we can't give him Henry's voice because we did that in the alternative route because we weren't sure, like, is it Henry but he didn't die? And then it's like, no, it's the Phantom. And then we're like, oh, okay. And we just rolled with it because, like, at that point it was too late. So what kind of voice do we give him? I don't know, like... Especially because Raoul kind of sort of had slight Henry vibe voice, so we can't, like... I mean... Oh. Just the first phase was nothing but boredom. No, but anyway. I wondered if he had already arrived in town. Despite my search, I found no trace of him yet. Slightly dramatic. Okay, this'll work. What to do? I was going to wait for Henry's arrival before beginning the second phase. If I waited too long, I would become bored. Only the remnants of a dream remained at the back of my atelier. I've told you everything I know! Please just kill me already! What are you saying? You only live once. It would be a shame to end it all so quickly. I'll help you enjoy yourself. Don't you worry. I was planning to draw it on longer to kill some time, but he gave up more easily than I thought. This won't do. Is the new generation really unable to withstand torture? It is a virtue to endure hardship. He is motherfucking nuts. Beautiful, but crazy. Ah, how thrilling. I pray it won't be long before I can see your own despair. You gotta love the batshit crazy ones, though, because it's kind of fun. Anyway, next case. Henry's currently in Strano. Here's his location. Nicola carefully read the paper that Orlok handed to him. Grazie. I'm in my throat. I'll send someone out right away. Yes, if you would. With that, Nicola left immediately and Orlok continued his report. And one more thing. I confirmed that every former casino employee in town is either dead or missing. If that's true, will it put an end to Gallier's senseless slaughter? Or perhaps... Dante, should I investigate anything else? Nothing for now. However, I do have a favor to ask. That is, if you have time. Nicholas said I could use whatever was in the room. There it is! I found some sheets of paper and a pen and began writing. Done. I finished my letter and sealed it, just as I was thinking about how to broach the topic with Dante or Nicola tomorrow. Wonder who it is. I stood up from my chair and headed to the door. Orlok! Buonasera, Space. I can't quite pronounce that right. I heard you were staying here, so I thought I'd come to see you. Is that so? I'm glad you came to visit. I smiled and welcomed him in. Dante's been worried about you, because you seem to be feeling down. That's because the man I love dumped me here. And, like, no offense, everybody's nice and all, but still, I miss Henry. I see. I felt somewhat guilty for worrying them when they were the ones who were protecting me. Well... Oh, that's right. We're like, Orlok could find him. Orlok, I may be mistaken, but was there something you wanted to tell me yesterday? He took a moment to choose his words. If Henry Lambert's trying to solve this case, I can help him. And the church also wishes to resolve the issues in Berlin before the situation gets worse. Unlike last year, there is no specific time frame that they're requesting to have this settled. Thank you, Orlok. I'd be very grateful if you were able to help him. Have you already found out where Henry is staying? I like how Orlok looks to the side like, woo! His skills as an informant were exceptional, so I thought that maybe he might know. He's in Strano, staying in an abandoned house. Space, are you about Henry? My answer to his question was, Well, very worried. Yes, I am very worried. Come on, give me a break. Very worried. Whoopsie! I accidentally frickin' opened a new tab. Did some weird shit on my tablet. Yes, I am really worried, but something about Orlok's straightforward look made me feel like I could be honest with him. Part of me wants to believe that Henry will be fine. Do you really trust him? I do. I see. When I nodded in response, Orlok smiled as if feeling somewhat relieved. I still can't trust him myself, but what he did was a crime that endangered many other people. Okay, what he did was a crime, and you stabbing people that endangered many other people. Oh, okay, you just stabbed like one person at a time. Okay. I mean, I get where Orlok's coming from. He endangered a lot of people, probably innocent people. Valid. But I do understand his desire to protect you, Space. Orlok spoke without hesitation. And I know that it was for your protection that he entrusted you to the Foul Zone. And during the riot, I saw Henry protect you from the townspeople. I can see that he doesn't want you to get hurt. It was a memory that was still vivid in my mind. I was surrounded by an angry mob and about to be beaten by a young man. His fist struck, not me, but the person who jumped in to protect me. Henry! Maybe right. Henry really is a kind person. When I lowered my eyes, I heard Orlok's soft voice gently reassuring me. So, you don't have to worry. I'll help too until the case has been solved. Thank you, Orlok. Would it be alright if I asked you a favor? As long as it's not taking you to see Henry. I can't let you leave this place. I'm sure it's not what Henry would want either. I agree with you. Of course I would like to see him if I could, but that would ruin everybody's plans. It'd be as if I were just trampling all over their painstaking efforts to keep me safe. We're smart in this one. Could you just give Henry this letter? Is that all? Yes. Understood. I can do that much. Thank you, Orlok. Orlok is such a good boy, even if he's stabby. He only stabs people for the church, but I'm just saying. I'd expected him to refuse, so I was overjoyed that he actually agreed. I've been tasked with keeping an eye on Henry, so I'll come back from time to time to let you know how he's doing. Really? Are you sure? Orlok nodded in response. Thank you. So happy. It's like in these moments you're like, Orlok's so sweet. You're like, look at that. Doesn't this game give you the warm fuzzies after it mutilates you, assaults you, and stabs you, and shoots you, and does all sorts? You know what? Whatever. It's fine. It's like this. You're like, this game is so warm and fuzzy. I mean, sometimes. Most of the time, no. But sometimes it's just so warm and fuzzy you can't help but love it. Kind of fucked up. I almost jumped for joy. Instead, I excitedly handed Orlok the letter that I just finished writing a moment ago. Dun, dun, dun. I think we're getting close to time. If not, you know what? We can probably read this little aside. Okay, so we'll read this.
I knew you'd find me here eventually, and the Foul Zone certainly wouldn't be able to rest until my whereabouts were known.
Well, how else could we keep an eye on your movements? And that being said, I don't believe you're still harboring thoughts about having your revenge on us under the present circumstances.
And there's someone else you should be keeping an eye on. Marco Calderoni, the detective who's been working with the Foul Zone since the previous administration. He was assigned to my sister's case in the past.
Do you think Marco's connected to the enemy? Why else would you...
Yes. I have no evidence, but he may be targeted next.
I seriously was like, are you trying to say Marco is a bad guy? Because what the hell? No, he's like, you need to watch him because he might get killed. Oh, okay, I'm with you there. Okay, well, I don't want Marco to die, but I'm just saying, like, you can't turn around and say Marco's a bad guy. What? All right. I was thinking about getting in touch with him anyway. I'll talk to him about it. By the way, were you not going to ask about her?
Are there any problems?
She's been crying her eyes out ever since you left her. If she's hurt, you would abandon her like that. Hey, I have not been crying! How dare you tell him that? I have been, but it's supposed to be a secret.
Enough of your ridiculous lies. You know that's an insult to her, don't you?
Henry was trying to hide it, but his reaction that very first second was enough to reveal his true feelings. I think it was like, she's been crying since you left her, and Henry's like, liar! I was like, have I been crying? I mean, internally, yes, but I hope you understand the situation we're in. We can't trust you completely, so we need to do what we can to figure you out. Especially because, well, he almost killed me. And he's over there like, I wish I had. How much do you remember about the past? It was a foolish question, but it escaped me before I even realized it. Henry was quiet for a moment, then gave a small chuckle.
I remember more than you do.
I'd completely forgotten about it until everything happened last year. Henry lived in the Falzone Manor before Dante was even born. This backstory, I didn't think this was going to be long, but it's okay. At the time, I was next in line to become the heir and leader of the Falzone. My parents visited the manor often and brought me along with them. There was never anything to do, so the visits were rather boring. And there was no one my age to play with, just the same tiresome conversations among adults. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's true! Oh my god. Don't we always get a baby CG? We're getting a baby Henry CG? Stop it. Wait. And one day I left the salon where they were all chatting and went out into the courtyard. Say, you there. What are you doing here? I don't remember what I said. Or if I was even able to answer him properly. Oh no, so that was Henry? Anyway. Are you alone? Yeah? Then do you want to play with me? Really? Yeah! I was so happy to have a playmate that I started to look for him every time I visited. Please show me fucking baby Henry, goddammit. We hid from the adults and played all day. On most days we played in the empty guest rooms around the manor. Sometimes we were bold enough to escape and run as far as the church. Oh my god, Nicola and Henry were like childhood best friends. Oh no! Nicola really is a problem, because he's got a weird thing for his cousin, and now my boyfriend is his childhood best friend, so like, that's why you're mad at Henry. You're mad at me for taking him away from you? Oh dear god. Those were always special adventures to me. I love the fact that Nicola's like, I'm just mad at you because you were... Look, oh my god, stop! Baby Nicola, baby Henry. Stop it! That is baby fucking Nicola with the eyes the size of his head! Stop it! That came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting that. Oh god, look at him. Oh, he's like a chibi. Oh my god, I love it. Look at what they dressed Henry, and they put him in basically, it looks like he's in a sailor suit. Oh dear god. That poor boy is so ridiculous. I love this. Oh my god. I might have been 4 years old at the time, so that would make him around 9. And we climbed the trees of the church and read books in the library, teaching each other Italian and French.
Hey, Henry, how do you say bird?
I can't pronounce that in French, but in French, it's whatever bird is in French. Whatever he's saying, bird. I can't pronounce that. I can pronounce soleil, but that's about it.
Oh, I know this one. Soleil. That means sun.
Yep, you're really good, Nicola.
Hey, you're good at Italian too, Henry.
I was happy when my new friend laughed. Made me feel very proud of myself. Oh my god, I love this backstory! Stop it, it's too cute! And secretly reading books in the tree was so much fun. It's a very fond memory. Say, Nicola, are you going to be the next boss?
Yep. I don't really want to be boss, but I have to. The Falzone Manor's kind of scary, so I didn't like it before. But I like it a lot now that you're here. So fun to play with you.
Fucking, I'm gonna die. Why is this so fucking cute? Why is this adorableness in my Mafia murder game? You know what? I need this. I'm glad you've come over a lot. When you leave, I'm usually alone.
Me too! Mother won't play with me and I don't have a father.
And then it's perfect, because I'm older than you. I'll be your big brother if you want. Oh, stop it, my heart. I can't handle this. I'm gonna die, guys.
Really? Yay!
I
you sure? Yeah.
When he said that, it was like music to my ears. I'd forgotten all about those words, but they stayed with me in the back of my mind.
Say, Nicola, kind of scared of the Mafia, too. Maybe it's scarier for you because you have to be the boss and all. But God's watching over you. You're a good boy, so you'll be happy.
Fucking Nicola. It's like everybody else is like drawn, and they were like, just slap a chibi and it's fine. It's like, he looks so ridiculous. I can't help it. It's so cute.
Thank you, Henry. Big brother Henry.
Stop it. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. After that, Dante was born and everything changed. This is all Dante's fault for existing. I seldom visited the Foul Zone afterward, becoming an ordinary member instead of the next boss. I was soon to become the next underboss. Still, I knew my mother always had her heart set on my taking over the family. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hurt by the change. The end of the future as I saw it. A long time before I visited the Foul Zone Manor again. By that time, Henry was gone. I don't remember ever saying goodbye. I must have locked away those memories. With them, everything else that happened during that time, including his very existence. Well, I mean, yeah, because this is the first time we're hearing of it. It's like they were like, we have to write in some kind of conflict, so why don't we just... Oh, like, how about they knew each other as kids? Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I'm not mad about it, though. I love it. Henry spoke, interrupting my thoughts. How dare you?
I really did intend to kill you last year. And because I was interrupted... No, because of your plans, I failed to do so.
And then Henry's like, I was going to kill you, my little brother. Henry... Wow.
I have no reason to kill you now. However, should the need arise, I will not hesitate. All this to say, you don't need to show me any mercy.
Of course. But rest assured, should the need arise, I'll not hesitate either. That's so... I know we're like way over, but I'm going to keep going because it's still the Nicola scene, so... Words exchanged between children and old promises made have no meaning now. Our paths split long ago, leading us each into lives where we could actually kill one another. Never thought I'd see the day when we'd be able to exchange words and not bullets. In a way, it may all be thanks to her. This is actually adorable! Stop it! I kind of like this because that's like another thing in there with like, oh, okay, because they have every reason to be pissed off and hate Henry, and then Nicola's like, well, I mean, do you think maybe it's justified that he wants to kill us all, Dante? And Dante's like, begrudging, like, maybe he's going to change his thinking, and then us being in love with Henry might change their thinking. But then they have this whole Nicola thing, and like, Nicola's there like, I'll kill you if I have to, but I don't want to, because you were like my big brother when I was little, and you made my life so much better. And they're both, oh my god, stop it. I love the little bromance. I love baby bromance, okay? It's so sweet and adorable. And like, Nicola's little chibi face is going to haunt me for eternity. It's going to be like, oh, stop it! Your eyes are bigger than your head. It's not even fair. Anyway. It's okay when they do it to kids, but I hate it when they do it to, like, the main character. You're like, that is not how a main character is supposed to look. They do it in some games, trust me. Not this one, though. She's fine. But anyway. Yeah, so that was adorable, and I'm going to leave that there, and we will continue next time. So, I will see you next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.